Good afternoon. My name is Shane Maja. Luckily for all of us in the room, I'm not your program director. I was asked, nicely so, to introduce our first act from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to do what we do best, which is really to give you entertainment and value for your time, which we really appreciate. So without wasting time, let me call on stage, and I hope he'll really do his job well, our comedian, Mr. Ziko Sithole. Let's hear it for him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sanibonani, how?
Hey, ni tense yazi. Ngathi inyanga iphilanga, ikoloto sizobhadala, relaxana. How are you guys? My name is Ziko Sithole. I'll try to make you laugh. I see with the program I was not updated with I need to be formal. At least I'm not the only one here. I see some few people. Yeah, wearing sports, nice. Welcome, serious people. The Jones. Mujantama. Yes. I come to run a business in Jengawe. I want to follow your shoes. I want to be my own father, my own son, my own daughter. I want to be everything to myself. When I run a club or manager or captain. I'm a player, let's give a round of applause to the legend of it. We need to acknowledge you, Tamalam, not to social need. We need to say such things with appeal. And that's why I said I'll try to make you laugh, because the way good tensing a corner Rumini, it's like everybody is trying to be lost and found somewhere at the same time. I don't know where. But I don't want to talk about people and their problems. I like to talk about myself, especially when I entertain people. What I do, I'm a Zulu guy. Yes, I am married with 3 women. Young Nestem, I'm a polygamist. Nestem, do you know East Temple, Baba? Do you know East Temple?
I told you, young man,
East Temple, Sami, I would like to tell you something. Mina, I'm not only married to 3 women by mistake, it was by choice. Because when I dated my first woman, she never told me to turn to Chwala with style. You know when a woman is sober and you talk to her, normal, hi baby, how are you doing? I'm fine, I'm well. Hello baby, have you been told by your own wife to go back where you come from? Every weekend, I always work every weekend. Every time I'm clean, at dancing. And every time I get tagged, she has this hiccup thing for no reason. It's my house. We stay in the same house. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I had to move on and date someone else. But after I got married, because sometimes when you get married, you get satisfied in different ways. I had to get married for the second time. The second time, one problem I didn't do, I didn't ask so many questions, I made a problem. You know what was my problem? My problem is that my second wife is a traditional healer. Hey, wena. Have you dated somebody who will tell you things before you do them? Have you dated someone who will tell you things that you are thinking before you even think about them? Walking in the mall, it's a mission impossible with my wife, the second one. Walking in the mall. Walk in the mall, and then Jang Yegeli Sand, Angshang and Bama. And then this beautiful woman comes through, and I'm like, wow, hey, I understand you guys. It's a mission impossible. Do you know what it no masingene endlini? So dlali papazo. Hey. Ngana sniff. Ngana nempepo. Angifiki la. Sibadala masingaka siyazi sikhuluma ngani. Akunabantwana la. Ukhofika endlini ugoqe ido ushange edolo phansi uthi thokozani bogogo. Bese siqinile la enzansi besicela nje ukuthi sithi. Uzumfoza amathi yo. Sayigcina kudala lento ngithi yana. Guys, understand nina. Ela date a traditional healer, you'll know. I try to be romantic. Yes, to be romantic with my woman. Mina ngithi bo my picnic vibes nyana by the river nyana da at the park yabona. Chilling nje chilling. Hey zamvuka. Yo. Ngithi yini wena amanzi. Ngithi yini namanzi. At bayangbiza. I can't take it anywhere. I can't. But I don't like to take it anywhere. I don't. Because she knows everything before we do them. Not phone nje. Ngithi laba ufunani ngithi angifuni wena ngifuna umuntu amathi akekho. But I'm talking to the same person. It's difficult. I can't deal with this. I tried to dump her. Have you tried to dump somebody who knows what you are about to do? I wrote a long message on WhatsApp. You know what? This is not working. Enter. You always tell me things before I do them. Enter. I'm tired of this. You already by now surely thinking about what I'm about to say to you now. It's emoji. It is ghost emoji. It's a dice emoji. It is pogo se pirate emoji. Ngisathi ngithi ngipress send. Iyangifonela lento yami. Ngithi speak of the devil. Ngithi ufunani? Athi uyangidampa. Ungaqhubeka wona umdampe ngizongathi vele ngiyakudaba athi ngizokuloya ngathi hayi. Namanje ngisashadile. It's kind of difficult, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue. I was just warming you up because Benny Tensinyana. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Zico Sitore. I'll come back a bit later on to entertain you again. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Besicela music ushintshe. Hayi nawe uyasilalisa hayi.
And our DJ. Good afternoon. We are officially starting with the program. My name is Shade Maja. According to the program, my program director, Mr. Ivo Hoff, has now given me a mandate to officially welcome everyone and to make sure that I run the program. And I hope that we are going to have a fantastic time because we don't intend to keep you long, given that there is going to be a family meeting today at 8 o'clock. The father of the nation is calling all his children, so therefore we intend that our program will be as swift as possible. My co-presenter here is the beautiful Miss Nomazo Ntlokwana. She will be facilitating the program with me. She is the director for communication, meaning she is the departmental spokesperson. Without wasting time, as we follow protocol, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable MEC, Mbali Hlope, who is here with us today, and the MMC of Community Development from the city of Johannesburg, Miss Margaret Arnold. She said it's an Afrikaans. Says it's not Arnold. So don't come here with the Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnold. I guess from El Dorado off. So better say it properly. Welcome, MMC. And I know that you are very active on Twitter. So I'll make sure that I tag you and I'll find a hashtag. To all our dignitaries from all the sporting codes, as well as the cultural and creative industries, welcome. I have seen familiar faces. The recording industry of South Africa CEO, I saw him here, will present him properly later on. I saw the CEO of the Advertising Association is here, and then I saw the secretary of the Gauteng Sports Confederation. So most people that we have been expecting are here, and those that I have not acknowledged, please, you are welcomed. Nomazo.
Mr. Maja, Agirad in Toyota. Rina le batho ba bapalang dibolo mo. We've got our veterans here. Bontate Jomosono. By the way, I was playing with him soccer the other day. We've got our dignitaries here from the sports fraternity as well. Let us acknowledge their presence. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you did hear Mr. Maja saying, I am beautiful. Indeed, I am. Yeah, you may clap hands on that one, eh? Good, 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 good. Yes. Let me also, Mr. Maja, welcome some of our executive managers present here this evening. We have our HOD for Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Ikupuleng Masisi. I'm from the Eastern Cape. I'm not sure if I pronounced it well, but Ikupuleng Masisi is a good try. A good round of applause for her. Thank you very much. You are welcome, HOD. We've got the Acting Chief Director for Corporate Services, a man with many hats. They say his name is China. I don't see any Chinese in him, but Mr. China Mashinini is also in the house. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be acknowledging the presence of some of our dignitaries. I see Mr. Yasim Lombard is looking at me with those eyes. Yes, sir, I can see the Gauteng Sports Confederation is in the house and your presence is acknowledged. What was it? Yes. Just come in. I am this woman who's generous. Sometimes I want to give men more leeway to speak than women. It has got nothing to do with men being don't. Come in, Shane Maj.
Thank you so much. We are now going to allow our host city to officially do the welcome address. The MMC of Community Development, Ms. Margaret Arnold. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Margaret, for starters. I know when I go to the Eastern Cape, they call me Margaret. And my surname is Arnolds. I let you into a secret and you let it out, is a man. MEC Mbali Hlope, welcome to the city. Gauteng, you see, he cannot even bring down a mic, and he wants to pronounce my surname. Gauteng Department of Education officials, Gauteng School Football Committee, Netball Gauteng, SAFA Gauteng, Gauteng Sports Federation, PSL teams that are present, the Honorable SA football legend, Chomosono, arts and culture dignitaries, RISA CEO, ACA CEO. Welcome to the beautiful city and the home of Orlando Pirates. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing the white, I'm only wearing the black, but I'm a Pirates fan. We want to say we are really honored to have this event here in the city of Johannesburg, and we really honored that it has not gone to Ekurhuleni or anywhere else, because this is where everything starts. This is where we make legends, and this is where we make veterans. This is where everything happens. You see, even the Arnoldses and the people that cannot even say our names properly, they are all here. So I want to say welcome to all of you. MEC, thank you for bringing it to the city of Johannesburg, and thank you for having confidence in community development of the city of Johannesburg. And with those words, I want to say welcome. You are not going to come to the stadium anytime soon, so enjoy your visit here at the stadium tonight. I thank you.
Thank you very much, MMC. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Mr. Maja, you know, I don't know, you are never invited to awards functions, eh? When they say you are a co-program director, co-presenter, it means we are married for the day or for the night. So you must be right next to me. Yeah. So can I deploy you to indicate to the House what is our next item?
Thank you very much, Program Director. Are we ready for playing the video? So we have prepared something on the screens. I hope that you all have access to it so that we go into the while we are.
This is Gauteng, eGoli, Mjiba, a kaleidoscope of blended cultures and South Africa's business hub. It's a province where stars are born, talent is discovered, trained and made. What Gauteng lacks in landmass, it sure compensates with the largest population that attracts people from small towns and rural areas of the country. Gauteng, there's a melting pot of nationalities and cultures emanating from across the world. The mandate of the Gauteng Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation is derived from Schedule 4 and 5 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, the National Development Plan, TMR, and the GGT Vision 2030 Plan. In this term of office, the department will continue to use sport, arts, culture, and recreation as vehicles for pursuing social cohesion and nation building. The provincial priorities of the 6th administration includes repositioning of the creative and cultural industries as drivers of economic growth and inclusion, reposition of commemoration of national days to ensure broader inclusivity, and development of a provincial sports plan to ensure that Gauteng remains a home of champions.
This year, as you know, has been now COVID year, which has been very difficult for us, especially when you consider that our sports and arts sectors function with what the COVID calls against, and that is mass gatherings, people coming together. And so the COVID has really been an antithesis to how we function, because it says, amongst other things, there must be social distancing. This forced the department, amongst other things, and particularly its stakeholders, to think out of the box. And that is why you would have seen that we went online with a number of our activities, from the national days that we host, to the various wellness activities that are there, to the various coaching and training that even our professional athletes had to undertake. But some of the fresh ideas that we saw coming out of the arts were DJs and how they were able to have online activities, online DJing platforms, whether it's done through TV and so forth, and various other ways that they were able to make sure that they are able to continue working and functioning. Whilst it's a sad story that we speak about and how the pandemic has really torn through not just the country but the rest of the world, we can also be able to say that there's been some critical learnings that we're able to draw out of it, and that is the ability to think out of the box.
The vision, mission and objectives of the department is to develop and nurture young sport and artistic talent, to ensure there is a pool of talented people for competitive and major events such as school sport games, the winter and summer games. These are part of the school sport programs which seek to produce, nurture and recognize upcoming young talented sportsmen and women from the different communities across the Gauteng city region and produce champions.
GP, yes, the whole province, the home of champions.
We're calling out to business to come out and really work with us as the department as we roll out our Wednesday Leave program. This is a huge program and we see it as a critical investment that we must do for this great province that we have. We want to be able to bring back sporting activity and arts to the schools, particularly the no-fee schools, because as we know, sporting activities no longer take place. So whilst those that are well off, who attend private schools, Model C schools and so forth, are able to have sporting activity, unfortunately, those that need it the most are deprived of this. And so what you find is that you end up with young people who, during the time that they leave school to the time that their parents come back, are unsupervised. And that's a good 3 to 4 hours. If you consider that if a child leaves school at around 2 and their parents only get back at 6 or 7. So during that time, young people are left with nothing else but negative things to entertain themselves. And that is sex, drugs, alcohol, and everything else that they can fill their time with.
Strengthening sports school is the prime focus of the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation. Therefore, the Wednesday League will be re-established in the historical and contemporarily marginalized public schools. These are no-fees schools. The Wednesday League is massified and professionalized, in which the former sports legends will facilitate training to schools.
So as a department, we have found it that it is critical for us, working together with the Department of Education, to ensure that we bring back development into schools. And that is how we're going to do it through these Wednesday Leagues programs, which is about bringing back the sporting activities and the arts. Now, of course, this is a big program which government will not be able to carry on its own. So we are calling out to the private sector to come and work with us, join with us. And the work that you're doing as part of your CSI, we're saying, please tap into your resources and be able to bring it in. We're not asking for your money. All we ask is that you identify what the different aspects are that you can be able to pay for, so that you are able to ensure that there is accountability, but as long as young people are able to benefit. So for us to be able to roll this out, we have to make sure that there's infrastructure within the various districts that we have identified in line with the Department of Education. We need to make sure that all these kids are given equipment, attire, there's transport, there must be food available, infrastructure is critical. So there's quite a lot of things that we require. And as we indicate, if we are to cover all the schools, government alone will not be able to do it. So we are calling for progressive individuals within the private sector to come and work with us, because we believe that this is the way we need to build the nation. As you know, Gauteng is the home of champions, and the only way that we can truly be able to protect our crown is by ensuring that we give back and reinvest into the grassroots, and this is what this program is about. We are targeting young kids from as early as ECD all the way up to high school, because we know that talent, you can be able to first identify it even from a child when they're still born. If you think of your great athletes, from the Williams sisters to Tiger Woods and so forth, all of these great athletes are individuals that were discovered at a very young age, and we want to identify the talent from an early age, be able to groom it and nurture it for the benefit of not just the province, but the nation alike. So we really are calling out to all of you to say, please, lend a hand. Let's work together and let's show that private-public partnerships do work. Thank you.
Ultimately, the strategic objective is to reposition and retain Gauteng as the home of creative industries through intensified talent identification, development, and nurturing in arts and culture. As we grow Gauteng together, we rely on the spirit of resilience, best identified with the character of the people of this beautiful and iconic province. Sibuyile. We are back at ease with the zest for an ever-evolving quest for world-class innovation and the relentless appetite for success.
Applause for that informative video that we have just been shown. It really tells a story. It is a call to action, not for ordinary individuals, but it is a call to action for progressive individuals. And I really call these individuals people who are activists in nature, people who care about the development and welfare of society in general. Very much. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite our Chief Director for Sport, Arts, for Sport and Recreation, Mr. Hoff. Sometimes I call him my husband number 2. He is a Chief Director for Sport and Recreation in Gauteng. This is a man responsible for ensuring that indeed we keep Gauteng active and we continue protecting our crown as the home of champions. Mr. Hoff, over to you.
Thank you, Program Director, MEC, HOD, honored guests. Thank you for making time in your very busy COVID schedule. What you've just heard from the MEC, I'm going to try and bring into a nutshell on what we are here about this afternoon. So you've heard there's many sporting and cultural activities in this very, very busy department. But this afternoon, we have brought you to a more focused attention around the biggest challenge that we have in our province and in our country is young people playing sport at school. For those who've worked with me many years ago, 26 years ago, the birth of USASA started and we had that program, and that is gone, and that is what we are trying to revive in a different way. So we're calling this the Integrated School Sport and Culture Program. It's none other than the extramural program at schools. In the ex-Model C schools and private schools, it's happening all the time, very professionally. In public and in particular our no-fee-paying schools, it's not happening, or it's happening very, very poorly. And that's the emphasis of what the MEC and the 6th administration would like to bring to bear, and to ensure that young people who've got talent, who have got potential, is going to be unearthed in what we are trying to do. So very quickly, just the objectives. We want to promote school leagues as a choice of participation for young people. We want to enhance the spirit of school sport and the school community. We want to make sure that school leagues at the center of this mass participation that we are talking about, but that it's also predictable, organized, and well-structured. And that we build a school sport as well as youth and culture structures, and that we foster learner participation specifically around the Schools Act in the extracurricular program. Of course, we also want to promote healthy lifestyles and ensure that the culture of teaching is promoted in that program. This is the long-term agenda of the MEC. She calls it cradle to grave. And you'll see it's got a continuum. You can decide which part of the continuum you find yourself. But what we're interested now in is the blue, purple, and I think for a man, they say men don't know colors. I think it's another side of pink. But those are the areas that we are looking at. The foundation phase children in schools, and there we want to look at festivals and not competitive sport. We are looking at the primary school cohort of young people, ages 12 and 14 years for boys and girls, and then of course the secondary school for 16 years and 18 years in only 2 sporting codes, which I will speak to you in a minute. But at the base of what she's trying to do is to foster social cohesion and nation building. Some of the key tenets of that is to ensure that there's development and that we use the opportunity to nurture that talent. We need to transform that landscape, and we need to build the infrastructure which is so sorely needed in our society. But we need the business sector and sponsors and partners to come on board. And of course, we want the creative industries to foster as well. These are some of the assumptions. We've spoken to the Department of Education, which is our sister department and our partner in this effort to make sure that we get going. We also know that there's engagements that we've started with school governing bodies and teacher unions in this regard. We know that we need to sort out the structural arrangement with our 2 sporting codes that we are going to be involved with. And more importantly, MMC. It's also to speak to local government across the province to make sure that the infrastructure that is so sorely needed in our schools is shared amongst our communities to make sure that this program is also sorted out. Part of our assumptions is that many of these no-fee paying schools do not have the requisite support that they require. And this is the enabling environment that we are trying to sort out. So when we speak about the constitutional arrangements of where this comes from, it comes from the Schools Act in the section 21B that speaks about extramural programs. And I think that is an archaic terminology that we must start to move away from as a progressive government. We rather need to start to speak about the whole school day. Because once you speak about core curricula, the curriculum and extra, it means something can go without. And I think the whole school day is what we now need to start to think about in our country. In this regard, it speaks about those programs that the school governing bodies, the principal and staff and young people decide upon around sport, around culture, around heritage, around school enrichment programs, and many other activities that are outside of the core curriculum. We have decided with the MEC and the HOD that we can start many places and we can try and do many things. But we think that if you need to eat an elephant as big as school sport, we need to take small chunks. And in this regard, we think the chunks should be in the following manner. We think for sport, we should look at football for both boys and girls, and for netball for girls in particular, because of 2023 that's coming along, but more importantly, that the girl child is also given an opportunity. In the cultural efforts that we want to do is to bring back cultural programs that we call the Segarona program, which is none other than the various art forms that young people can participate in. Singing, dancing, acting, poetry, amongst others, as well as choral music. We think choral music is a very important discipline that we can bring back into our schools. And also we want to include something new. In the private schools, they've got something like war cries. We want to now South Africanize and Africanize war cries in our townships. So when the young people of the bigger populace of the school go and support their school teams, they can start to get this cheerleading program also going. Our designated pilot is for the no-fee paying schools. And for the 2021 financial year, or rather the 2021-22 financial year, is 381 no-fee paying schools, which consist of both primary and secondary schools. That's the management overview, which I won't bore you with, but it consists both of the Department of Education and ourselves, the 15 districts, sporting federations, school sports structures, SGBs, and a whole range of support people like yourselves today. I don't want to also bore you further, but except to say that the MEC of Sport and the MEC of Education met last week, and they met with both executive management teams. One of the agreements was that they will discuss at the Department of Education in the chamber in ensuring that this program is going to take root. One of the key things that we have decided on in that meeting is that we will cut some of the time at school in the periods across the day so that this program can be enhanced towards the end of the day so that young people who have to travel is not going to be disadvantaged. The roles and responsibilities amongst the continuum, you'll see we've included school governing bodies, which are parents, but also the overall school populace, the Department of Education, the Department of Sport, and a whole range of stakeholders that is going to make this possible. The training and skill component is a very important aspect of what we need to do, because without ensuring that young people as well as teachers know the rules of the game and how to play these games and how to coach them, we are not going to make progress. These are some of the unfortunate areas that we still need help on, and like the MEC said, in this instance, we do have core resource allocation, but we need more to make sure that these young people in the 381 schools for next year has got additional support. In this regard, there's some first aid training, there's transportation challenges, catering is a small lunch pack for a school, the stipends for some of the referees, young girls need some sanitary and sport bras, and of course, in some instances, there's even footwear that is required. I think I don't need to say to you what the impact of sport is in this country and in this province, but also in the world. So it is important to know that sport today is no longer just playing for fun, but it's a big business. And how do we ensure that we give young people an opportunity to see sport more than just playing on the field? There's a number of statistics which I will not bore you, but in this country, over 3 billion rand in the sporting fraternity is generated into the GDP of the country. Currently, you will know that a whole range of what we are trying to do is also about making sure that we live a healthy lifestyle. In this regard, we want to remind you there's possible opportunities for us. If we succeed in this program at the lowest level of young people, it will start to impact into our provincial agenda of young people and the greater populace being active. At this stage, only 48% of people in this province are physically active. They're doing one or other form of physical exercise. We want to increase that, and in so doing, the MEC is saying, if we can reduce the health bill of this province, we will be able to redirect some of that funding to sport. And I think that's an opportunity that we can work towards a healthier Gauteng. Here are some of the numbers that we are required. It's quite a huge project. It's millions and millions of rands in order to make this particular project work. We are therefore asking you this afternoon that this smiling face is what we want to achieve at the end of our program. Young people just given an opportunity to identify their talent, nurture it, so that they can become the new netball players and the new football players for boys and girls in our province. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoff. May I kindly request another round of applause. Thank you very much for that comprehensive presentation that really gives a true picture with regards to the department, what we stand for, the work that we do in changing the lives of ordinary people, especially young people in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, may I also kindly take this moment to acknowledge the presence of the Chief Executive Officer of the Gauteng Film Commission, Ms. Tumetsi Libaka. She is also amongst us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Mr. Maja, may you kindly introduce the team that is going to be rendering entertainment and keeping our guests entertained as we move along with the program this evening.
Hailing all the way from Naledi in Soweto, I present to you in a very dramatic sense and a name. They go by the name of Intellectuals Pantsula. DJ. shortly. There we go. So, the name Intellectual Pantsula, I was just briefed outside when I said, so you are intellectual Pantsulas? And the lady says to me, no. The emphasis is on intellectuals. We are the thinkers and the smart ones before we do our dance. So, emphasis on intellectuals Pantsula. And I just thought that it's quite a catchy name. And for that, I think that high-paced Pantsula just reminded me before I had a running injury that I can dance. And I wanted to do a short display, but I'm overweight and I have a running injury, so next time. Mzala.
I don't understand why you are bringing in the word overweight. However, speak for yourself, Jane. I keep having that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to a different phase. Achieve the mandate that is placed on the department. These stakeholders come from different sectors. I will now call upon some of these stakeholders who come from the sports fraternity. And these are the people, ladies and gentlemen, who entertain us in the comfort of our own homes, ensuring that we have access to sport, even in times when as families we find ourselves in unhappy situations. But when we switch on our TVs, we watch sports activities. It is that time that some families get together. It is that time, it is that moment when a nation is built. These are people who assist us in achieving our goal and our mandate in promoting social cohesion. Let me now call upon representatives from the various sports organizations that work very closely with us in achieving our mandate. They will be giving us different messages of support in line with what we are.
Ntate Kaizer Motaung, Ntate Jomosono, Teenage Lada, the late Roadblock Makatini, may his soul rest in peace, Dr. Khumalo, and the list is endless. Now, in seeking to achieve our goals of this program, we as Gauteng Schools Football, we pledge our support. Rest, as I've been looking at the slide there, the municipalities will be making sure that they avail those facilities. Maybe we should also further add that, maybe we should also speak to our Federation of Football to waive the fees for the referees, because that is another challenge we are having, especially at the lower level, so that because we cannot play this football without referees. So working hand in gloves together with all the stakeholders, we believe that we are going to sustain this program. And most of all, we would like to work with our scouts from different teams around Gauteng, from the Premier, the Athlete Africa, and the other leagues, so that as this program is taking place, they must take it as a necessary for their teams. We want to see our boys participating in those teams, not being outnumbered by other players coming from other provinces. And as a Gauteng Schools Football, we are saying we are going to do our utmost best to make sure that this program is sustainable and
Thank you, Ms. Ronnie, Ms. Ronenel. Sure, let me see. I hope you've heard what Ronnie said here. She said this initiative makes her heart pump even faster. You know, that is excitement, that is passion that we are really looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Ms. Nell. Let me now call upon a representative from the Gauteng School Sport Committee, Mr. D. Mudley. Mr. Mudley? Aye. Mna kaloku ndivele Eastern Cape udayi ngowakho. Ngowakho udayi mna ngudi ngesixhosa. Mr. Dai Mudley. No, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you must be very careful. When I speak, listen attentively. It is my duty as a program director to make sure that you are focused and you are still listening. And sometimes we will do some of these things deliberately so that we check your level of attention. Thank you very much. I die.
At least we have fun and games. And that's what teaching is all about. That's what education is about, where we can laugh at one another and laugh with one another. And I think that's what it's all important in everything that we do. I think, as so many other people have said, 26 years of drought, and suddenly the rain is coming. The rain is coming to grow our youth in sport. Netball, football is a start. I do believe that there's going to be greater things to come. And from the school sport organization within this province, we want to say that we pledge our support in whatever possible way there can be. Honourable MEC, may you see this vision that you have flourish and grow. And I know that together we will make it work. I have a slogan that I live by in life. And it says, in one success, 1,000 failures may lie forgotten, but in one failure to try, 1,000 successes might prematurely die. And I think the fact that we have taken the step, the fact that we are reaching out, our young people in this province are certainly going to flourish. And I do believe that everybody seated here is going to take hands and make it work. We pledge our allegiance. Thank you.
Donald Trump can learn a thing or two that can make us